There is a growing effort here in the Bay Area to help put those who've served time behind bars on a path toward future success through education. A program at Chabot College in Hayward offers support services to formerly incarcerated students. For more on this, we're joined now by Eric Gentry, who's the program coordinator for RISE, which stands for Restorative, Integrated, Self-Education. Eric, great to have you on this afternoon. Appreciate the time. What kinds of services does your program offer, and how does it lift up formerly incarcerated students?
Hi, Alex. Thanks for having me on. Our program, I believe, most importantly, offers the peer-to-peer mentorship. So our program employs formerly incarcerated individuals like myself to be integrated into the program. And I feel like it kind of gives a person and it kind of lends hope to our student population in the program, so they can kind of see that they can overcome these adversities in their life and kind of make it out of their current predicaments. And our program also offers book support, supplies like laptops and hotspots. We have designated educational counselors who help build career paths for our students, especially those with felonies on the records who are trying to navigate these employment realms. We have designated counselors to do that, who are also counselors in our mental health services as well. So as they're talking to our student population and they feel that they can qualify for any mental health services, understanding that a lot of us have a lot of mental health needs coming home from these institutions, from the things that we've experienced, the traumas that we have seen inside.
I was going to ask you, Eric,
direct support.
What are the biggest challenges that formerly incarcerated students face as they come back out into the world and try to work toward those educational goals?
I feel, and this is personal for me, is the biggest one is housing and employment. So a lot of times when we're coming home and we're trying to get on our feet, and say that we maybe burnt a lot of bridges in our personal lives and we're trying to make it out here on our own. We're trying to navigate these worlds that are, on these housing applications that are asking about any conviction histories you may have. And then when you have them, they end up excluding you from these housing opportunities. And then most importantly, trying to get jobs that now through Ban the Box makes it a little easier to get past that initial hurdle. But I remember when I came home from prison, that question of have you ever been convicted of a felony was right there on the application. And the moment I checked yes, I felt like my application just kind of went instantly to the garbage can. I've been personally told that we don't hire people with felony records. So these are the type of hurdles that our program is helping our students overcome. And I always feel like I tell students that you start building those degrees, get those degrees, and they will overcome and overshadow anything else you've done in your life.
Let me ask you about your personal story, if I could. You've alluded to it here a bit, but you went to prison twice. But you told me that when you got out the second time, you decided that you were going to go to college. And if we can, highlight some of the achievements you have here, you are now pursuing your master's degree in social work at this point. So what was it for you that turned things around and made you decide to pursue higher education?
I knew I had to do something different. So I knew I needed something different in my life. At the age of 18 years old, I was facing life in prison. So I thought I was never going to come home from prison. And I ended up doing six years. As a teenager, get sent to a level 4 state prison in California. And I came home with no form of rehabilitation. I came home with no job skills, no education, no college programs. And I lasted 2 months on the streets, and I went right back into prison. I got sentenced to another 2 years in prison. And that second time coming home, I was like, I need to do something different. I need something different. I dropped out of Vallejo High School growing up. So like I hated school. People in my personal life will tell you that I hated school the most growing up. But I did decide to go to college. My wife talked me into it, and I just went and took one class and seeing if I was going to like it, seeing if I fit, see if it was something for me. And that English class by Miss Carmen Johnson, she still teaches at the college. That class blew my mind. The materials I were reading, I felt like I really connected to it. It was something that I've never done before. And I loved that class so much that I was like, I'm becoming a full-time student. I'm going to follow this thing through. I'm going to see where it leads me. I'm a first-generation college student, and I felt like it was important to kind of see it through. And I ended up graduating from community college with high honors, and I completed my bachelor's degree at Cal State East Bay in sociology, cum laude, and I felt like those were my first A's I ever had in life, and they're really important to me. And currently, right now, I hold a 4.0 in my grad school program. And I just feel like I want to show other people like myself that we can come home, we can acclimate to our societies, and you don't have to fit in to certain labor markets that people make us feel like are our only opportunities coming home from prison. I want to show folks that you can go towards those academic careers, and you can be hired by college.
Yeah, you are proving that firsthand. Eric, as we wrap up here, let me talk about how you reach people early on, because part of the program is outreach. You show up in the prisons, you show up at the jails, Santa Rita, for example. Why is it so important to connect with someone before they get released from prison or from jail?
Because I know a lot of times, like I remember sitting in jail, you hear people talking about wanting to go to school, but then when you come home, you don't know how to get there. You're like, I mean, what does it mean? Like, before I ever went to college, I didn't know what admissions and records was. I didn't know what financial aid was. So if I was on my own, and thank God I had my wife helping me navigate those circles, she was essentially my RISE program when I started. If I didn't have that person in my life, I would have never made it because I didn't know where to start. So we go directly into these institutions. And I actually got to go into a prison that I was once incarcerated in. And they almost didn't want to let me in because of that. But I got to go speak directly to those people and say, hey, like I was once in the same place. And I made it through education. I made it out of these predicaments. So I want to catch folks inside there and show them that somebody just like them could make it to these schools. And if you forget everything else about what I say, just remember how to contact me. And we will get there. We will get you to the college. We help with full enrollment. We do your CCC application. We do your financial aid FAFSA documentations, and we get you acclimated to the college.
All right. It's such important work that you're doing. Appreciate you taking the time to highlight the program. That is Eric Gentry, who is the program coordinator for RISE at Chabot College in Hayward. Thank you for doing it, Eric. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Take care. And we've posted more information on the RISE program up at our website, KTVU.com. It's right there under the web link section.
All right, here we are.